Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Skaggly Bones back with another video for you today. And as you can see, I've been kind of busy. So, got some new videos coming out for you. But as you can see, I've been busy. So I was away for a little while, as I talked about in one of my other videos. And I was in Japan recently. And as you can see, went to Tokyo. And I went to the Gundam front store and I picked up a couple of things. And I got myself a perfect grade, and I got one that's a little bit harder to find without going, I shouldn't say without going to Japan. You can order perfect grade Mark II through Japan, but since I was already there, I figured I'd pick this guy up. Went through the Gundam front store, went through the museum they have there. It's pretty awesome. If you've never been, it's in Odaiba. If you get a chance, go to Tokyo, go to Odaiba. It's kind of like this island off Tokyo itself, separate from Tokyo. Pretty awesome. Lots of cool stuff there. So picked up this perfect grade, and it's the RX-178 Gundam Mark II. This came out in 2003, I believe. The first one, which was, this is the Titans model, Titans color. The other one, the Anti-Earth Self-Defense Force one, that one came out the year before this. So the first perfect grade that came out obviously was RX-78. And then you had the two Zaku's, the green one and then the red one. And then you had, I'm trying to think. You had a couple others, and then these guys came out. Okay, so these guys were a few years in after they first started making perfect grade, but they're excellent perfect grade. Had tons and tons of special features and gimmicks, and I already got them built. This isn't really an unboxing. I'm going to kind of show you the box. I'm going to show you the Gundam. I'm going to do a couple videos off of this, and you'll kind of see a little bit of everything. So this first video is going to be more of an unboxing and taking an overall look at the Gundam, and then the second video I'm going to do for you will be all articulation and gimmicks. So sit back, relax. Hope you enjoy the video. First of all, as you can see here, we're going to start by unboxing this guy here. Turn part of my camera around here so I can see what's going on. And as you can see, the outside of the box, it's a typical early perfect grade box. You're going to get on top here, you're going to get some of the specs of the actual mobile suit, model number. It's going to give you the pilots here. It's going to give you some information, the armaments, things like that, Mark II. You're going to get a look of the model kit itself, both front and back, and then this is the inner frame that you're getting. And these first mobile suit, the Titans, I think, are some of the best inner frames that you get with a perfect grade, because they have lots of little, as you can see, lots of little pistons there, and a lot of real high detail on the inner frame itself. Okay. The other side just has a lot of info, and you can see the price there, 1,500 yen, or sorry, 15,000 yen. It's about a $150 kit. I didn't pay that much for it. I got it for about $130. Not too bad. Price of the yen has dropped, and that's pretty much it for the box. Okay, so you open it up. You're going to have 3 compartments, as you can see here. Like I said, the only thing I have left in here is the runners. This piece of box art, kind of like a little backdrop, that's going to be over the center piece like this. This is how it's going to come. Your books are going to be in the center part, and then you're going to have 3 rows of runners. Now, this thing has a lot of runners, folks. You're going to get 2 manuals. You're going to get a construction manual. As you can see here, there is 24 pages It's a 24-page construction manual. Has a couple fold outs here. First page, I don't think, no, first page isn't a fold out. And you can see all the runners that we have here. So, yeah, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Yep, 30 runners. So there's 30 runners in here. You get, and then you actually get, as you can see here, you get some screws, you get some metal pieces, 2 springs, a die-cast centerpiece for the hip, which I'll show you later. A lot of little screws. There's actually 3 types of screws, and they give you extras too, by the way. So if you do strip out the tips on it, 1 or 2, you should be good. And then you get these pieces for the LEDs, and you do get a set of LEDs for the head and for the cockpit area, because the cockpit lights up. Okay, and then it's typical construction manual. Goes through, starts off with the arms. Lots of little tiny pieces in here. A lot of construction. All your major joints are going to be bolted together, screwed together. Lots of screws in this. In fact, all together, I'm trying to see on here how many screws this thing actually comes with. Comes with three types of screws, and probably about 20 screws altogether. So a lot of detail. So that's your construction manual. Okay. Then you have an instruction manual. And your instruction manual is pretty much the entire model kit. It is actual photos of the model kit. As you can see here, certain parts of it are actually, let's see here. So you can see certain parts of the armor. It shows the inside. The inside pod is reminiscent of New Gundam, and it is made of this shiny metallic material, the same material that the same type of runner that they use for the pistons. So you're going to get that shiny metallic, and then when the light from the LED shines into it, it's going to brighten that cockpit up really nice. Okay, you get some of these metal parts, these for these pipings right here on the back of the legs and everything. And then of course you get beam rifle, hyper bazooka, Vulcan pod system, shield, and then 2 beam sabers. And the beam sabers go on the backpack, similar to RX-78. Okay, inner assembly. See all the leg parts, and the armor pieces come off. Pop up and swing and rotate. And you'll see all that. Got a lot of little information, nice information here from this guy. Well, lots of little details. Kind of goes into it. I can't read the Japanese, obviously, but probably get my wife to translate it for me if I wanted to. There's a lot of nice details here. It gives you beam saber information, outputs for the rifle, the amount of ammo, shows you the amount of ammo. The Vulcan is a separate piece. That Vulcan, as you can see here, it's a separate piece that straps on, and the whole point of that was in the anime was you actually got more ammo out of it. Looked dumber, but whatever. Beam saber, beam rifle. You got a lot of good info in this. Shows you kind of some of the color of the other version, and then you have your color chart and where your decals go. A nice big thing for that. Okay, so that's that. And then of course, I haven't put any decals on, but you get 2 sets of decals. Okay, and this is really nice that they did this, because these earlier ones didn't have they did not have the water slides, which you'd think for something this price range you would, but they didn't. is they had stickers, okay, and then they had dry transfers with this guy. So the Titans model had the dry transfers, really nice. You got a lot of nice dry transfers, and I will actually use the dry transfers to put on. I kind of keep my Gundams minimalistic as far as, I mean, this is a prototype mobile suit, and I'll go with what's in the anime. So I'm not going to do much more than that. Okay, so that's the box itself, and put this up really quick. I'm going to move the box here, put this off to the side. I'm going to change positions of the camera here, folks, for you guys. And I'm going to bring in the Gundam himself. Okay. So you see that this isn't some time-lapse thing. So we got our one weapon. And by the way, this guy weighs a good chunk. And I will go through some of the issues that they have, and it's kind of inherent to a lot of the perfect grades that you will see here. And that's him. So that is the Mark II Titans color version, perfect grade. Okay, and as you can see, he is a big dude. Okay, he's kind of tilting a little bit. So the one issue, like I said, that I see with him, and overall this is an excellent kit. You're going to get a lot of stuff with him. In the articulation, I'll have him kind of apart here a little bit so I can go over everything. Right now I kind of have him set up how I have him posed on my dresser. But he is a big dude. He's got a lot of weight. He poses really well. He has tons and tons of articulation, but he tends to be, what I don't want to say necessarily top heavy, because his leg joints are phenomenal and his knee joints are phenomenal. It's his ankles tend to be slightly weaker. Okay, and nothing against him. It's an older kit. It really is, and they got big poly caps, but the ankle joint, and I'll show you guys in the articulation portion of this, is pretty. It's a hefty ankle joint, but there's so much articulation in there that sometimes he pivots forward. Now, he never falls over, which is kind of funny, but he kind of looks like he is. So I love this guy because it's like the old man Gundam. You know, he's one of the older mobile suits, and he's like the guy that got the knee problems and the arthritis. A lot of, like I said, a lot of the perfect grades, the earlier perfect grades didn't have ratcheting parts like some of the newer ones do. They had tons of detail, but because he is quite a bit chunkier than the ARC 78, and I mean he is quite a bit chunkier. He weighs a good 5 pounds. He is the joints. Can you play with him? Yeah. The nice thing about him is his plastic is nice and thick and heavy. He's not going to fall apart. The funny thing is his arms are just stiff. They're absolutely awesome for holding his weapons. It's just, and the leg joint here is awesome because it's that die cast. It's just, he's made for a lot of mobility and lots of articulation. So the joint in here, half the joint in here just isn't as tight as it could be, and the ankle joint, and it has a screw in there holding together, so it's not like it's going to fall apart and he's going to, you know, his ankle's going to come off or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that. Everything is locked in place. All his joints are locked together. They actually have little pieces that where the screw goes through, you have this little lock in place, so you lock the knee in place so the knee can't just pop off like some of the master grades or the high grades do for that matter. The only part that can actually pop off is the hip area under the skirts right here at the shoulder itself, and they're right here at the top of the arm. You can actually pop that apart. They're never going to come off. The poly caps are pretty heavy, and you can pop the head off. Obviously, you can separate them from the waist, but there's no real need to because he doesn't have a core fighter in there. So overall, excellent model kit. It's really well done. Like I said, I don't have him panel line. I don't have him painted. It's going to take quite a while. I'm going to have to re-disassemble him and everything, which I'm not really looking forward to with all the screws. I thought about assembling them without the screws and then taking them apart to paint them because I wanted to get them assembled. I wanted to get all the seam lines done. By the way, folks, if you're worried about any marks, nub marks on the armor, other than, so the darker stuff, all his inner frame is going to have some nub marks on it because they're not undergated, but all the outer armor is all undergated. Now, there are pros and cons to undergating. So if you don't cut those nubs perfectly on undergating, stuff doesn't fit together. Okay, so but it does allow so that you don't have this big nub mark there, which is really nice. But I got everything filed down. I did a lot of work on them. I got them all pretty much. I got them all together. Got them working really good. I just want to do a lot of detail painting on him, and it's just going to take a while. And it's not. He's not my main project. Like I said, I just want to get him out of the box, get him put together, so I could have fun with him and pose him. The nice thing is the perfect grades. They have so much, and I'll just kind of give you guys a taste. There's so many little parts and stuff. As you can see here, the armor pieces come off. This comes up like this, and you can see kind of like this is supposed to be a hydraulic pump in there. That's what it, if you look at the tech specs on these guys, and then this piece of armor comes down, pivots down. You can see the pipings here. This is literally supposed to be like a diesel engine that runs, or an engine that runs and does his hydraulics. And you can pull that out, and you got this thruster assembly here as well. So you have this engine, you know. You have all the little pistons and stuff in his ankles that you can see there. You have pistons here, you have pistons in the knees, you have pistons in the arms, you have pistons under the elbows, or in the shoulder joint here. You have piston in the leg joint up underneath, which you'll never see. And then you have 4 pistons for the waist, which you'll never see unless you have the armor off. So there's lots of detail there. The only difference with this guy, he doesn't have neck pistons, but he has more pistons than the 78 Zephyrontis full burner Gundam kit. Okay, so he has a lot of pistons. There's tons of detail. That was another kit that's phenomenal for having all the armor being able to open up. So we're going to end this video right now. Sorry it's run a little long. That's kind of my overview. And the next video, like I said, look for it next, and we're going to go into all the gimmicks and the articulation of, and do my final review of thoughts of Mark II Titan's Perfect Grade.